Howdy, folks. Pull up an ear whilst I spin you a tale. This is a tale fraught with peril and danger, redemption and renewal. The tale of a man who sought to find himself in this great land of ours. The tale of a man determined to find the old West that he remembered from the silver screen of his youth. A man who wanted nothing more than to live the life of a lone wanderer, a drifter, a cowboy, in an RV. Just a boy, he watched westerns with his dad. Those memories of his pa were the best he ever had. He longed for the life of the old West, out on his own and free. So he traded in his beat-up Pinto for a shiny new RV. He's John Wayne a B. John Wayne a B. He said this town just ain't the same no more, and the people here surely don't like me. So he's headed out west toward the sunset to find a place that he can still be free. The life of a cowboy on the road in his gas-guzzling steed, traveling the land in search of souvenirs and helping folks in need. He's John Wayne a B. John Wayne a B. John Wayne a B. John Wayne a B. Winnebago Warrior, the tale of John Waynabe. When last we left our intrepid adventurer, he found himself in a heap of trouble with Lizzie on account of their recent run-in with Clinton Westbark and his foul-mouthed estranged wife, Profanity Jane. You see, folks, the reason poor old John has found himself on Lizzie's bad side is 'cause Clinton Westbark still walks a free man after what he done to poor Axe. May he rest in peace alongside his despised kin. Anyway, Lizzie and Hatchet both were just as mad as a beaver who can't get proper zoning permits approved by corrupt local bureaucrats to build his dam. Madder than a honey badger cornered in a... you get my point. They was relentless in trying to make their point to John. But as usual, he just wasn't getting it.
John, you just ain't getting it. That awful man killed my poor husband, Axe, and ain't nobody done a dang thing about it. Especially you. Don't you care, John? How could you just let him walk away again? As I turned away in disgust. I don't even want to look at your handsome face right now. I thought you were a man of justice.
Justice. Hard to find out here in these lawless remote regions. Sometimes, you gotta make your own justice, which can come in many shapes and forms. For example, if a thief steals a piece of bread and gets away with it, some people might say there's no justice in that. But think about the guilt and shame that thief must feel for that horrible crime he's committed. Is that guilt and shame not justice? What if that bread was moldy and he didn't realize it until he was on like his 4th bite? He's gonna throw up. I know I would. Yuck. Is that mold not justice? If you ask me, that's the very definition of justice.
Actually, justice is defined as rightfulness or lawfulness, as of a claim or title, justness on the ground of reason, conformity of this principle as manifested in conduct, just conduct, dealing or treatment, the administering of deserved punishment or reward. John, if you ask me, none of what you said resembles anything that I just said. The way I see it, your yeller streak is back. And you just let him walk away. Again.
John, I thought you were brave and handsome. Well, I guess you're just handsome. I don't think you have the faintest idea what justice is. Sigh.
Well, I don't recall what Hatchet said word for word, but I have a pretty good idea. He was rather thorough.
John, I often worry about you. It seems to me as if you live in your own little world, far isolated from reality, strolling through life, blissfully unaware of how ignorant you actually are to how your actions are the direct cause of our anger. Even I, at my tender young age, can see that you don't care one lick about the suffering Ma and I must endure daily, knowing that Paul's killer ain't never gonna face justice for what he'd done.
What Hatchet said.
Lizzie, Hatchet, I understand.
No, John, I don't think you do understand. In fact, I kind of wonder if you even understand what understand means. If it's all the same to you, John, I have kin that lives just a couple of hours from here in Heidelville, Tennessee. And, well, I think it might be best if you would just drop us off there. I mean, maybe Junior and I can stay with them and figure out what we're going to do next. In the meantime, I plan to sit here, heartbroken and in silence for the remainder of our trip. I'll bat my eyelashes slowly, trying to hold back the tears.
Just let it go, Ma. It's not like he cares anyway.
Lizzie, please.
John, just don't.
Poor John. There seems to be a misunderstanding on account of John being convinced that he was doing right. You see, folks, the way John sees it, it was an awful thing what happened to Axe. Something he may never learn to forgive himself for. To him, being a man means shouldering the burdens of others, staying strong. But John and the McCoys rode the next couple of hours in a strained and awkward silence. And as they pulled up the drive at the home of Lizzie's kin, he brought the RV to a snail's crawl, not wanting his time with the McCoys to come to an end, hoping desperately that Lizzie would change her mind at the last second.
I'm not going to change my mind at the last second, John. I know that's why you're driving so slow. Well, you're just wasting your time and mine.
And mine! Don't forget I'm here too!
Lizzie, Hatchet, listen. As the three of us drove these last couple of hours in an awkward silence, it gave me time to think. In that time, I was able to find the words I needed to try to explain to the two of you one last time my reasoning for letting Clinton Westbark go. I know the two of you want more than anything for me to hurt Westbark as much as he hurt you. That's not justice. As much as you don't want to believe it, what happened to Axe was an accident. I saw the look in his eyes when it happened. He truly didn't mean to kill Axe. None of us gave him the chance to explain his side of the story. If you're expecting me to take a man's life over an accident, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but that's not the kind of man I am.
Look, no one expected you to kill him, John, but we're just letting that awful man walk away without a scratch? Twice?
I can understand the first time. We was all caught up in what happened to Paul. But the second time, you was all like, "Hey there, Pilgrim. How you been, old buddy? It's good to see ya. What say we go catch us some no-good dirty cattle rustlers together, friend?" And you did! You just turned around and walked away without a single word of admonishment in his direction. I don't know, John. You just seemed kind of indifferent to the whole thing. And Yeller. Don't forget Yeller.
I ain't Yeller.
Thank you, Junior. My thoughts exactly. John, would you mind helping us take our things to the porch? My kin will help us from there. Junior, you ready?
Couldn't be readier, Ma.
With a sigh of resignation, John opened the door to the RV, defeated and not knowing what else to say. So he thought of something quick in a desperate bid to salvage the situation after realizing they were still at least 200 yards from the house on account of his slow driving and stopping.
Will you at least let me drive the two of you the rest of the way to the house? We're still a good 200 yards away on account of my slow driving and stopping.
Oh my, that is an awful long way. Would you just don't talk to us on the way, I don't care to hear anything else you have to say on the matter.
Yeah, what Ma said.
As the RV crept slowly along, in an even more awkward silence, the house came into view. Sitting up on the porch were Lizzie's grandparents, who were wondering who it was coming up the drive.
Pa, someone's coming up the drive.
Huh?
I said, Pa, someone's coming up the drive.
Oh, Ma, someone's coming up the drive.
Bless it, you devil buzzard. Maybe you should go get your killing rifle. Go on, get.
Better go get my killing rifle. Ma, someone's coming up the drive.
Not no more. They're here.
Well, I better go get my killing rifle. Tell me when they get here.
Oh, we are here, and here we will stay, amongst kin.
Is that Lizzie?
Look, Ma, it's Lizzie. What's she doing here?
Fussing with that handsome, defeated-looking fella, looks like. Well, Lizzie Sue Ann Montgomery, Alabama McCoy. Is it really you, honey?
Granny, Gramps. Oh, it's so wonderful to see the two of you. Oh.
Look, Ma, it's Lizzie. What's she doing here?
Granny! Gramps! You're still alive! This is awesome! Do you have Wi-Fi?
You bet you sweet rider we do. We're cruising along at a blistering 200 megabits per second powered by an 802.11 AD gigabit wireless router, boy. We surf the web at lightning fast speeds with lag-free downloading and streaming around these parts. How's that for Wi-Fi, boy? You're asking me about Wi-Fi. I'll show you some Wi-Fi, you ungrateful little... Is that Lizzie? What's she doing here?
Well, as good as it is to see y'all again, I came here in need of your help. You see,
I'll go fetch my killing rifle.
No, not that sort of help. As you already know, my beloved axe has passed on, and Junior and I, we found ourselves in a bit of a pickle.
I like pickles. Hatchet, when did you get here?
However long ago you were comfortable with thinking I got here. What Ma was trying to say is we could use a place to stay for a little while, and was wondering if you could help us out.
Howdy, folks. Name's John, and I'm a friend of the McCoys. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Well, hello there, young man. And a friend of Lizzie's is more than welcome in our home. Now come on in and get a bite to eat.
Oh, Granny? No, John isn't staying. No, the open road is calling him.
Well, that's very kind of you, ma'am. Thank you. I am awfully hungry. Wait, it isn't possum balls, is it?
Oh, but we do have turkey balls.
Turkey balls?
Yeah, turkey meatballs and turkey bacon. Boy can't eat the pork on account of his blood pressure.
Yeah, I would really rather not.
Oh, I can't do a lot of things I used to. Howdy, young man. What's your name?
Oh, hello, sir. My name is John. I'm a friend.
This cycle ends now!
Then it's settled. Let's eat.
Much to Lizzie's dismay, her family welcomed John into their home for dinner. Everybody sat down and dug in while Lizzie sighed in frustration, wondering how much longer she was going to have to tolerate John, and also began to wonder where the rest of her kin was. You see, folks, Lizzie grew up with her cousin Molly, and it had been several years since they'd seen each other. Lizzie was excited to see her again, but disappointed she wasn't around to actually see. Curiosity got the best of her as usual, so Lizzie decided to just go ahead and ask.
My curiosity's gotten the best of me, as it usually does, and, well, I couldn't help but wonder, so I'll just ask out loud. Where's Molly? I thought for sure she would have been here to greet us when we arrived. She's gone and found herself another new acquaintance to pass the time with.
Didn't you hear, Lizzie?
Hear what?
I like pickles.
Why, she's getting married. Well, today, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Why, I had no idea. Wait a minute. Why ain't the two of you attending? Is the grooming illegal? So you just used a cardboard cutout to scare him off. That's what we did.
Oh,
Looks fine.
no, it ain't nothing like that. Heck, that I could tolerate now. But this is...
For the love of suspense, would somebody just say it already? Tell us, right now, without further delay, what is wrong with this feller?
Hello, young man. What's your name?
Hello, sir. My name
No,
is...
we've gone down this road too many times already, and we're not gonna let this drag on needlessly. I didn't even laugh the last time. What makes you think beating that dead horse is gonna bring it back to life and make it funny again? Drop it! Granny, answers, now!
You're fast. All right, I'll say it. He's left-handed.
You can't trust them lefties. It just ain't natural. Being left-handed, it ain't natural.
But Gramps, I'm left-handed. Ah! Save me, Ma! I would have asked John to since he's closer, but, he's yeller.
Hey,
Lizzie, what kind of demon spawn are you raising?
Hold on, Gramps. Just calm down, okay? He's ambidextrous.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds evil.
It means he can use both hands equally, so actually he's not really right-handed, but, and this is important, okay, he is also technically not left-handed. Understand?
Evil!
can I have some more turkey bacon, please?
Of course. Help yourself, you handsome young man, as I put up my breath just a bit. And you, sit down, you fool. That thing ain't even loaded.
But evil. Hackett, when did you get here?
So, what you're saying is that you don't want Molly to marry this fella. It sounds like we need to stop this wedding.
Really? That's what you got out of this, John? The utter absurdity of Granny and Gramps' irrational hatred for those that are different from what they understand as normal didn't bother you? I guess it probably just went right over your head, huh?
Don't you see how this decision is tearing this family apart? Family, the core of this great nation of ours. Yes, sir, without family, life would be a cold, lonesome place. A place without birthday cards or cake. A world without the simple joys of watching a beloved family member grow and blossom right before your very eyes despite the horrible, seemingly insurmountable obstacles life placed before them. Horrible things such as a speech impediment combined with severe lactose intolerance with a side of lazy eye. If my life-challenged Uncle Earl can do it, then by Molly, so can we. To the RV!
Long frustrated with being ignored, sigh. John, you are not going into town, and you most certainly are not going to stop my dear cousin's wedding. Do you honestly believe that is what's best? Did you even stop for even a second and consider asking for my or anybody else's opinion on the matter? No, you did not. I mean, this is exactly the kind of thing I have become fed up with, and well, you don't even have the courtesy to pretend that you care about anyone but yourself. You have worn out your welcome with me. Now, it's time for you to leave without protest. Now go. Walk out the door. Don't turn around now. 'Cause, you ain't welcome anymore.
Okay, Lizzie. If that's what you want.
John quietly got up and walked outside. He's devastated, folks. How could he keep his word to the dying axe if Lizzie didn't want him around? Will John still try to stop the wedding? Is there a way to heal the rift between him and the McCoys? Did you know Hatchet was ambidextrous? Is there an under the stars anywhere near this place? What will become